So I left off on Friday looking at this, and this was sort of a point of interest. And I've just been considering this over the weekend. Looking this morning at a smaller piece I did last week. It's a refinement of this idea here, which I didn't want to leave by the wayside. Like when it's wet, when it's glossy like this, it has a whole other dimension, but the movement is there, like the energy is there. So spent the morning working on another a horizontal piece. It didn't sort of like magically come together. I tried to keep the analysis separate from the actual studio work, but for my lunch I just spent a little bit of time looking at the things that worked and the things that didn't, and I see a way forward with this one, so I'm going to try that this afternoon. So came up much better once the clay was removed. I'll spend some time tomorrow just tidying this up, sand it down, and I'll recoat the background. But yeah, it reads much better. I think it's actually quite a nice piece. Like, you got some really good color work going on. That's basically it. Let's see how we go tomorrow. So I've worked on quite a lot of loose ideas over the last months, and now I hope to isolate just a few and to develop them, to bring them as far forward as I can. Yeah, to bring something to a point of rest, I suppose. So spend a bit of time out here setting up kind of a makeshift studio to catch this angled light, the sunlight, and I've had to make do, so just trying to photograph the smaller piece from yesterday. I really want to just show the shadow, show the depth, and making sure that it's portrayed as accurately as possible. So I think I actually did it. I think I've taken everything that I've worked on. I wasn't sure myself that I would arrive or that I would be able to do it, but I had the determination to push through, just to keep pushing, keep adjusting, keep tweaking. But yeah, I think I've arrived at something here, so let me give you a look. It's the best of everything that's gone before. It's tightened up, it reads well, it reads evenly. There is a very nice color mix. The trails, these runs, they read very well. Yeah, I think this is definitely it's a clear step forward for me. So very, very interesting thing. So, whew, it's actually quite a relief, because you know, you're chasing this thing and you don't know exactly what it is, but you know something about it. So yeah, that's incredible. Now I'm going to tie this one up this afternoon, and yeah, I'm very happy with this one. It's been a great morning here. A lot of things came together. All of these sort of ideas and plans and sketches have sort of tightened up. Yeah, it's kind of a relief. It's exciting. It's all these things mixed together. There's sort of the road clears ahead, and I can see a way to push forward. So, looking at a clay piece I did yesterday, the details, the finish has come along quite a ways since the beginning, and now the question for me that I'm trying to work through is how to use this in conjunction with other pieces, and it is a single stroke, how to put it together to create some kind of composition or interaction. So working on the background here, sanded it down, and I've applied a few coats already, but there's a few spots that still need work. But areas of shadow, I think, really kind of give a depth to this piece. So it's a strange one, but it's definitely endeared itself to me. finished carving this piece. Very intricate work, very kind of precision work going on. So now I can put this away for it to cure fully. Then I can start to tidy up these spots here. But yeah, I think what you realize when you do this work, you need these spaces. You need to have spaces for it to breathe. Otherwise it just becomes too chaotic, I think. So worked up a new piece this morning, taking the elements of the last piece and just augmenting it slightly, just trying to emphasize certain features. And yeah, I need to sit with this one for a while. What I tried to focus on was to create more space, as I mentioned yesterday. To create this negative space, I think, is important. You need a place to breathe. The interview I did last week is also gone live. Transcript and photograph are online, so I'll link that up at the bottom. It's a really interesting document, the whole project. It's called Pandemic Portraits. I've just done a little bit of sketching, and I'm thinking I'd like to try something with these clay strokes. I'd like to try to put them together somehow. If you remember back to this is one of the first pieces. You can see how badly it cracked here. I looked at that sort of wavy movement, moving away from a flat surface. Now the next step for me would be to try something like this. So first of all, I made a few sketches. I started to do some paper mock-ups. Then I moved on to scaled up onto clay, and then finally I moved on to a sort of medium-sized clay piece. That was a total disaster. Clay is everywhere and there's paint everywhere. You can't really predict exactly what implements you'll need or how you're going to manipulate these things in the process until you're there and you're covered in paint. Certainly I did see some moments of something emerging, so I will return to it in time. I need to just make some more notes and just catalogue and record what happened. I had to just step away and just take a shower, so that's it, I'm done. I spent the morning here picking up the details of those pieces from, I have no names for them, but next thing I did was just try to photograph it. I tried to find an even light. Here is one of the things yesterday. I mean, it's absolutely not what I thought it would be, but cracked and everything, but there's a certain amount of it that I quite like. I mean, I pushed it into a circle, but needs work. I like it in terms of a starting point, but needs a lot of work. Now I'm just working on another piece. I have a few ideas here that I'd like to try, so I know I keep talking about space, but I need to give it more space. There needs to be more negative space, so I have these beautiful cumulus clouds all week and a really sculptural. Okay, made it to Friday. The last piece I did is quite different. I need to sit with that one and tidy it up a little bit maybe, and then before I share it. But I'm still trying to find the boundaries, like too busy or too empty, I suppose is the other one. So hello, Harry. I felt like I turned a corner in one respect with the scale of one piece. What is it, pal? Now it's just a question, I think, of just refining it and honing it. Always moving forward somehow. I think I need to set a date for some kind of virtual exhibition. But I always feel when I'm in here that I'm just getting closer to something, to refining something. That's sort of a perpetual feeling here. But certainly I can see now between what I've done, what I did with those small tests in the beginning up until now, I can certainly see giant steps. I'm going to spend a little bit more time with these clay pieces. Again, continue to refine this idea of this language and these sort of gradients and see how I can move that along. I mean, the work I have now is the work I have now. It's the fruits of this 4 months, I guess, and it's sort of an honest reflection of that time. And again, eventually I'll get back to what can you take away and what would be the minimum that you could take away there. So quite exhausted this week. I mean, I put in a lot of extra hours, and I'm really looking forward to just clocking out now. So I'm going to sign off there. So as always, stay safe, and I guess I'll talk to you next week.